Good morning, ladies, specifically Barbara and Christian, but also, or Kristen, sorry, but also good morning. This is Jonathan with One Big Impact. This is a question, but I also want to cover this because, well, let's be completely honest, it's a very real subject. So, Barbara asked, hey, how do I stay on track while I'm actually going on vacation with Atkins or the low carb regimen or whatever? So, okay, I want to cover a couple things. Kristen, first of all, said, hey, don't beat yourself up, blah, 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 blah. Yes, absolutely, Kristen, you are correct. But I do have some things that I want to cover if you're trying to stay on track during it. First of all, be stronger than your excuses. It's going to come up. The next thing is I have 3 or 4 things I want to cover. When you go on vacation, if you are a vacationer that is constantly going on vacation, not really going on vacation, but I'm on a life goal. Okay, I'm on a life mission to be able to travel to every country in the world. If I start justifying eating like crap every vacation, it's going to be bad. The worst thing you can do is start saying, yeah, it's perfectly fine, I'm going on vacation. Be strong, be stronger than your excuses. And the reason I say that specifically is know yourself, okay? Are you the type of person that's going to say, okay, I'm going to go on vacation, I'm going to eat whatever the hell I want, and then when I get back, I'm snapping back? There's a difference between somebody that says they're going to snap back and actually snaps back, okay? It's not always easy. You're going from carbohydrates and sugar and everything, getting, wound up and wound down and wound up and wound down. It's like a drug. And then you get back and you're like, oh, I don't have carbs. I'm so tired. Oh my gosh, I can't function. So if you're that type of person, I understand, but you need to know yourself. Okay, second of all, once you start doing that and justifying things like that, it's okay if you can bounce back and it's just a once-a-year vacation. I don't care. Like Kristen said, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you living a little bit of normality, and you're not, let's be honest, if you're on vacation for a week or two and you snap back out of it, you're not going to gain weight, okay? You might gain a little bit of water weight. You might pack on a couple pounds. That's cool. That's no big problem. Once you get back into it, you snap right out of it. It's all good. Let's be completely honest. Even fitness models go on vacation and have fun every once in a while. But it's the majority of what you're doing that is going to be what your body looks like. So, that being said, if you start justifying vacations or parties or quinceañeras or baby showers, you'll start justifying everything. So if you're that type of person, be careful, okay? Be careful, or do your best to stay on track. But I did do a list of, I'm going to read through the list of a couple things that I put down as soon as you guys ask that questions, because it is close to my heart, because I'm always traveling, okay? This is something I struggle with myself. I'm not going to curse. I'm going to do my best not to curse because this video is going to be on YouTube. But it is hard to stay on track sometimes, especially the way I travel. I'm like on bus, I'm on this, I'm on that. A lot of the times I will have certain go-to foods, like whether it's peanuts for healthy fats or it's fruits or whatever it is. I have some go-to things because trust me, I'd much rather eat some fruits and random vegetables than I would, some cakes and moon pies, because my activity level is really high. But I'm going to cover a couple of those things. So first of all, it depends on your activity level. The way I travel, I'm extremely active in comparison to this right now. Okay, right now, sometimes I have to sit in front of my computer for 10 or 15 hours a day. I don't have to, but to get the things done that I need to get done, it's very demanding at my computer. I have not yet figured out how to strap a laptop to my face while I'm doing exercises, but maybe in the future. So it depends on the type of travel you do. I personally am able to consume a lot more foods than I normally would because I'm probably about 5 times more active. Okay, I go from a sedentary type of thing and of course I go to the gym while I'm here and stuff, but like I go from sedentary to maybe 6 or 8 or 10 hours of hiking per day. So it's an extreme difference. My body's going to need a lot more food to be able to keep up with that demand. That being said, it depends on what type of traveler you are. Okay, there's two major differences in travelers. Are you a rich traveler or a poor traveler? And I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, I'm not rich. Even rich people say I'm not rich. They just don't know they're rich, okay? If you don't live in a trailer with your mom and you got a couple cars and a couple $100,000 house, you're rich compared to me, okay? So what I mean specifically by rich traveler or poor traveler is, are you the type of person that's huffing it? Are you walking down the street? Are you walking 5 miles to the bus station because it's just too expensive and you can't afford the $5 for a taxi? Or are you a taxi rider, cab rider, Uber rider? Are you not walking or doing those exercises that you could? Are you taking a cab or are you renting a bike for 3 days? Are you are you going to dinner and it's a 5 blocks and you're riding the bus, or are you jogging there? Take that into consideration. I'm not saying your type of travel is bad. What I'm saying is it's important that you understand and you are realistic and honest with yourself on what type of travel you actually are. Are you a physical traveler or are you a relaxing traveler? Are you the one that just pops their feet up and you're like sipping Mai Tais and chilling on the beach, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's definitely a difference between you and the person that is mountain biking, 6, 8, 10 hours a day, or hiking, or swinging through the jungle, or whatever you do. Are you the adventurer or are you the relaxer? So those two things are completely different. If you're the physical person, you could probably get away with consuming pretty much anything. I'm not saying that I want you to eat sugar and cakes 24/7, but your body's going to be able to burn off a hell of a lot more doing those things rather than sitting on the beach and relaxing with family. So keep that in mind. The next thing is, if you're wanting to stay on track, which I personally recommend, I think it's a good practice, but I also think it's good to have balance. But if you're wanting to stay on track, 3 portions of meat per day. Okay, breakfast, have your protein. Lunch, have your protein. Dinner, have your protein. 6 to 8 ounces is usually perfectly fine, whether it's fish, chicken, meat, whatever, tuna, eggs, I don't care what it is. Eggs would be like 2 eggs, maybe 3 if you're really active. But besides that, you will do 6 cups of veggies. So 3 servings of meat, 6 cups of veggies, whether it's through lettuce or salad or broccoli or cauliflower or cucumbers, zucchini, whatever it is. I would say probably do 3 to 4 cups of lettuce, and then the other 2 cups would be like cooked veggies. So like broccoli or, whatever. So definitely keep that in mind. 6 cups roughly per day. So you got 3 portions of meat, 6 cups of veggies. And then the next thing is going to be a small serving of healthy fats with each meal. Now, I want you to eat 4 to 5 meals a day. If you can't manage that, you're too busy, whatever, eat 3. That's fine. But I don't want you to eat 5 meals worth of stuff in 3 meals, okay? Don't pack too much food on, because the reality is your stomach is only so big, and if you try to pack too much foods in there, it's just going to spill over. It's like having a 50-gallon drum and you put 60 gallons in, just falls out and turns into fat, okay? So please don't do that. Make sure your energy levels are good because of your proteins and your vegetables and your healthy fats, but just don't overdo it. So the servings that I would want you to put with your meal would be like 1 ounce of cheese, a couple tablespoons of like dressing, maybe some olive oil, maybe some avocados, maybe even some nuts or seeds. If you're in induction, that's not going to be an option, but it could be because you're traveling and maybe you're burning the net little extra. So that's just a recap. 3 servings of meat, about 6 cups of veggies, 4 to 5 servings of healthy fats for your whole day. And you can pretty much move them around. Obviously, you're going to want to count your carbs if you're trying to stay in induction. You don't want to go for like carrots or corn or whatever. You want to stay in those low carbohydrate, non-starchy vegetables. Aside from that, we are going to say if you indulge, okay? A lot of people buckle on vacation. Sometimes. Okay? Let's face it. You're in a strange place. You smell those amazing smells and you want to try something. Okay, if that's you, I'm getting goosebumps smelling some of those smells that you smell. If you're wanting to indulge, don't lie to yourself, don't cheat yourself. Do not, by all means, completely fall apart and do it every day. But if you want to do something, if you see something, don't panic. It could be something that you're probably going to see again. If you're seeing it in that region, don't eat it right then. Exercise. Exercise really hard one day. And if you want to indulge, plan it. Plan, I want to indulge the first day. I want to indulge the last day. Those are going to be my 2 days of the 2 weeks or whatever your plan is that you want to indulge. Exercise a lot on that day. Do some weightlifting. Get a day pass at a gym. If it's like a Palace Resort or a nice place in Cancun, they probably have a gym in there. Exercise really heavy. And then, within like an hour or half an hour, go ahead and indulge it if it's like a sugary food or something like that. Because then you've exhausted your glycogen inside your muscle stores. They're flat, they're relaxed. So when you go and eat that, don't go crazy. But if you go and eat that, it's going to be sucked directly into your muscles and not stored as fat. Now, that being said, once you indulge, you need to get back on track. So if you decide to indulge, get back on track immediately. Otherwise, like I said with the drum, you're going to start spilling over. So that's definitely a bad idea. But also, furthermore, make sure you understand if your activity level is high, you could probably get away with a little bit more. I'm not saying that I want you to eat poorly, but I've told you the way you can do it. I've told you the way that you can stay on track. Now, that's completely up to you. If you need support while you're over there, if you have questions while you're over there, please feel free to message myself or post it in the group. Hey, I don't know what the hell jicama is. What is it? Is it a safe vegetable? Blah, 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 blah. Basically, general rule of thumb, if it was under the ground, it's probably not okay. If it's from a tree or a bush or something like that, it's usually perfectly fine. I've been to Cancun. It's a beautiful place. Most of the places are like all-inclusive. I don't know if that's what you're doing, but if it's an all-inclusive, you have a buffet. You're going to have salmon. You're going to have vegetables. You're going to have anything that you want to stay on track, okay? If you're wanting to stay away from certain things, be careful with the coffee, what you're putting in your coffee. Don't grab sugar and just pour it in. Don't grab juices, don't grab cakes. Like, we know these things. Like, some of the things are pretty freaking obvious, okay? But if you do indulge, just make sure you work out really heavy on that day and then do it after. Don't do it before because it's not going to work, but keep that in mind. Also, Barbara, if you're not in our World Travelers group, go check out our World Travelers group. Actually, I'm going to add you to the World Travelers group while I upload this video. 2 places that I want you to check out if you get a chance. I think I told you the other day, Isla Mujeres, which is the island of the woman, and they have a shark there. You can swim with dolphins, which is really cool. I was like super panicked. I was actually heavier then, so they had to have 2 dolphins push me through the water, and they pushed me through the water, and I glided. It was really cool, and you're like Superman. It was really awesome. But besides that, they have a shark there that you can swim with, and it's funny. It was hilarious at the time that I went. They said, this is kind of inappropriate, they named the shark Monica Lewinsky because she didn't have teeth. I know, it's a bad joke, but I thought it was hilarious. And then Tulum, if you're looking for probably the most beautiful beach that I've seen to date, it would be Tulum. They have like the Aztec and Mayan pyramids, and it's a pretty cool little day trip to go check it out. They stop at like some cool pottery towns and things like that. So those are my 2 recommendations. Also, you guys, if you guys are new here, please check out our Facebook groups, World Travelers and Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. I'll put the links in the description below. Have a beautiful day, and as always, be stronger than your excuses, and remember to spread love, not hate. Peace.